Good, good.
All right, guys, today Carlos can make an opening statement before we go into questions. Once we get to questions, just again, give me a name and outlet when talking to Carlos. So, Carlos, when you're ready.
Yeah, good. Well, thanks for coming. Gives us a chance to wrap up the season and how it went. You know, looking back to building the team and to where we are now, you know, we're very pleased with what we were able to accomplish on the field, off the field as well, with the community, the fan base that we've been able to have. You know, being an expansion team, we knew it was going to be tough, but we set ourselves, or we set high aspirations for ourselves. We're able to accomplish getting into the playoffs, being able to get our team to gel and come along quickly, kind of formulate a team quickly. But, you know, we fell a little bit short as far as we wanted to make a deeper playoff run. But we don't want that to tarnish what a great season it was for us. So, you know, overall, we're happy, like I said. We're pleased with it, but it's left everybody wanting more and wanting to go further into the playoffs and bring a championship back here. But that shouldn't discredit what's been done here. You know, I think we should note in preseason we didn't have a home base like this. So we moved a lot of places. We were in Florida. We're up at Flowery Branch. We trained here. We were in a hotel. And big credit to the guys, the coaching staff, everybody in the club that really pulled their weight to make sure everything could go properly onto the field and give our guys the best chance to gel as quickly as possible and put it out there on the field. So from Bobby Dodd over to the new stadium, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Georgia Dome going down today was interesting to see. It's a little bit of a new era, and we're looking forward to getting stronger and kicking off next year and going for a deeper playoff run.
Okay, questions for Carlos? Ajay?
Carlos, knowing how competitive you are, how much?
Yeah, it hurt. I think it hurt for everyone. You know, the players, you saw the month of September that they had to put in. You know, the mental grind and the physical grind out there, putting ourselves in a good spot to go into the playoffs. Coming up against a very good Columbus team who you guys have seen now. They've gone even further. But, you know, when you lose on penalties, it doesn't feel good either way. It's just kind of it's not a great way to go out. But they left everything out there on the field, and I think, you know, that's something we're very proud of, the mental effort, the physical effort from those guys, just pushing through. But to lose like that, it hurts, you know, so we'll look back on that next year and try to draw from that when we push forward. Yeah, so obviously we knew those were going to come up today, right? At the moment, for a lot of guys, we're not quite finalized, and we're having internal discussions, external discussions, but I don't have too much to comment on those guys at the moment.
Jeff Larinowitz wasn't listed among the players whose option was retained or not retained.
So Jeff would fall into that category as well with those guys that we're having internal and external discussions, and we haven't had any decisions made with Jeff yet.
Okay. There have been reports that you've signed, or the team has agreed to terms or signed a defender from. If you could comment on that. Yeah,
we see a lot of the rumors coming around. It's that time of year, right? So, look, Doug, as we've said all along, we're not going to comment on rumors. There is one or two positions we're looking to, not positions, but one or two players we're looking to strengthen with to build us for next year. So, you know, hopefully we can announce some stuff in January or sooner if stuff happens before then.
What position groups would that be that you would like to strengthen?
Well, it's more just, I think, depth for us. We were very excited this year with how we're able to perform. For a first-year team, you know, for us, you know, you look at a team like Toronto, where they've been able, over the course of 8-9 years, been able to build up a team that has depth. So when someone comes out of the midfield, they put another guy in and it's just the same. You know, the level doesn't drop, right? And that's always a challenge for a first-year team. So, you know, being able to utilize players from our academy now, we'll have 5 homegrown players next year signed to first-team contracts and a part of that mix that those guys will be pushing through and have another year of experience under their belt. But it's really trying to get depth. So we scored, how many goals did we score this year? Over 70 goals, right?
Yeah.
We had over 70 goals, so we had our attack was fantastic. We ended up finishing with the third best defense in the league, and our goal differential was quite good, second plus 30, right? So, it's not like we need to blow this thing up. It's trying to create competition at a few positions, and really just trying to get some depth all over the field.
Yeah, Carlos, you've been here about 2.5 years now. Looking back, how happy you made the decision?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm really enjoying it here. You never know until it's all said and done, right? But I'm enjoying this club, enjoying the franchise. Obviously, Arthur and all his companies and how they operate, how they do business, the culture, the people that work for these companies. It's been a real pleasure. So I think regardless of what you do, what you choose, you want to be in a nice situation and enjoy where you work. And this is a fantastic club and a great city to be a part of.
How about as far as the
Yeah, it's been excellent. You grow. You're in a high performance environment day in and day out. You're working with a high level manager, high level executives, and then the players as well, right? So it's growing every day, learning, having an open mind, but looking to get better every day.
Just going back to rumors again. A lot of rumors about the U.S. men's national team and Gerardo Martino. He's tried to dispel those rumors. Eels has tried to dispel those rumors. Curious if you could say, will, as of right now, Martino be back?
Yeah, we have not been approached by anyone.
Just to expand on what you were saying about homegrown players, can you talk about how significant that is?
Yeah, it's great. So I left that out a little bit at the beginning. But one, utilizing the academy, it's a very important part of the club. We started it up a year before we even launched the franchise, or before we were playing, excuse me. So it's something that's important to us, and it's something that we want to utilize, not just have there as just to have an academy. But we're trying to foster kids in the environment that they're ready and they're able to challenge as soon as possible. So, I think you'll see a little bit more out of Andrew Carlton this year. You see Chris Goslin pushing for spots a little bit more. Lagos Kunga came back from the Under-20 World Cup and puts him on a little bit of a different level as well. So, look, nothing's giving to these kids, and we've got some darn good players playing in front of them right now, but it's their job to challenge them and push them. But it's also when we're going out to get a manager, speaking to Tata, it's, is youth something important to you? It's important to our club. We'd like to give these kids opportunities and push them forward. And, we had a pretty young team in general this year out there on the field. If you look at it from the Miguels, Joseph was, I think, 24. He was one of our older players, right? So, we like playing youth here. We like to push youth and promote youth. And that's my job and our job to create pathways for these guys and make sure that they have the opportunities from a holistic standpoint, but then it comes down onto the field with them doing their job and then Tata making the choice if they're ready to play.
How long is the contract with, is it with Gwinnett? And then will there be thought given to moving it back here or what?
Yeah, Doug, we haven't gotten that far yet, so creating a franchise from scratch last year, the first team, huge time consumption and effort, right? Doing it again now this year, so we're going to be playing at Coolray Field, so they will operate the stadium and take care of that stuff. We'll own the technical side of it, so it'll be kind of a partnership like that. But at the moment now, it's just trying to get up and running. We need a manager, we need a staff for that, we need players for that. So it's really trying to build all that out, and I think we'll probably take it year by year.
So this is a 1 year?
To be honest, I'm not sure if it's a 1 year lease with them or a 1 year agreement. That's something, Darren, you can probably ask him about that. But at the moment, we are taking it year by year as far as building out and getting better. But it, for us, it creates a fantastic pyramid because you get guys like Andrew and Chris and these kids, Bello next year coming out of the academy. We need a place for these kids to play. And, if they're not breaking through and able to play, can we get them 10 to 15 games in the USL where they're competing against men, right? They're guys that are out there putting food on the table for their families. It's a little bit different than going out there playing on the weekend when the academy is out there and it's just it feels sometimes like a scrimmage. So being able to get these kids in a pro environment, it really helps the developmental pyramid. If they can't break into the first team, you'll see a few guys from the bottom half of our roster that aren't getting first team minutes playing for our USL team, but also promoting academy kids and our younger players on the roster playing for the USL team.
Doug, then Alex.
You always had a focus on youth, but does the U.S. recent failure to qualify for the World Cup and everyone focusing on the next generation, does that change your thinking at all, or even trying to speed it up a little bit more?
I think what the U.S. not qualifying for the World Cup has done is brought a lot of things to the forefront, brought it to the limelight. I think we've been doing a pretty good job in this country of trying to find ways to develop players. Are we doing everything right? No. Is there room for improvement? Yes, there is. Now, it's how do we kind of expedite that situation, because implementing the developmental academy, I think it was 8 years ago, all the MLS teams now have academies, different showcases, different international tournaments. We're looking for competitions. And at the U.S. soccer level, they're looking for different programming as far as high performance, sports science, all these different areas that they've been doing in the background. But now I think it's really going to shine a light on, hey, let's push this to the front, and this is the most important thing right now, because, yes, developing players, developing coaches, all that, we've been talking about it for a long time. It's just that's one of the biggest challenges in this country, and now we've got to really put a light on that and bring it forward and say, let's do this now.
Alex?
I'm glad you brought this up. It's fascinating. One of my questions or concerns is, whose responsibility does it eventually fall on to develop youth American talent? Is it like a club, or should it be with the federation? We've seen Italy, for example, in the U.S., have almost mirror identical problems when it comes to developing youth. So from your perspective, whose shoulders does this fall on? The clubs or the federation?
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into the whole U.S. soccer, everything developing of players. We'll talk more about our club, but I think it's a challenge. I don't think it's a problem, right? I think it's a big challenge, and we have a huge country, 300 million people. Geographically, we have a lot of challenges for this. But yes, it's definitely falling more into the clubs. Before we had no academy systems. We were 22, 23 years old, the league is, right? A lot of these other countries have 100-year-old leagues and infrastructure, that academies and everything, the pyramid system's been going for hundreds of years. So we're trying to play catch-up. That's what we've been doing for the last 20, 25 years. But we're taking steps to implement, right? Development processes, how do we push our players along, best competition. And but yeah, now all the MLS clubs and the USL clubs, and there is some top clubs out there. So we get these guys, 25 days out of the month, right? So that's where, it's important for us to have a good environment for them, to foster, the relationships with these kids, that they want to be here, they want to grow here, and push them on, and then give them opportunities at the pro level as well.
Doug?
Three among the first team signings weren't retained, contracts weren't retained. I was curious if you could go into any of the reasons why, for example, can be brought back.
Yeah, so Kenwin, he came in, and we actually signed him 6 months before we started playing. And, I got to say, he didn't probably have the run he wanted as far as getting the minutes and contributing as much as he would have wanted with our team. But fantastic veteran and really helpful around the training ground, always coming in here with a smile, good mood, good mentality. And, from a culture standpoint, a veteran to have around that's played internationally, that's played in the Premier League, that's played in big clubs and been in big atmospheres, he was great for us to have in and around the club. And, he chipped in here and there, was unlucky with his knee injury. But look, going forward for us, it wasn't the direction to continue with him. Yeah, and Tambakis, look, we at the moment we made the decision to go in a different direction. He's been with us for a few years, and it's just how it goes sometimes in professional sports. We felt Alec and Brad were a little bit higher on the depth chart, and so we'll look to go in a different direction there.
Hayes and Harris?
So Miguel was announced as the newcomer. What pleasure does that give you? Any the season that he had surprised
Look, Miguel's an interesting guy. Yeah, I mean, yes, we're excited, right? I think the whole club is excited. You guys have interacted with him. He's a nice kid. He's always smiling, just real gentle, loves playing football. That's all he cares about, right? So when someone like that's out there and he's winning fitness drills, he's technically the best player on the team, has the physical capabilities to do whatever he wants with the game. But then he's a nice guy off the field. He prepares himself. You want great things to happen to those type of kids, right? So, no, I mean, it's fantastic for him. It's a great achievement. I think he was able to show a lot of his qualities this year, and going forward, we'll count on him even more next year. But yeah, we're pleased for him, and I think he'll tell you that the complement of players that we had around him enabled him to succeed as well.
Harrison.
Was getting a USL team always a priority for you guys, and how do you feel about that?
Yeah, so we had spoken about potentially bringing our own USL team in previously, but we wanted to focus on getting the first team up and running, which was about a 2-year process for us, right? So then we partnered up with the Battery, Mike and Andrew, and now Eric, who's their owner over there. They were great throughout the whole partnership. The real challenge for us was it's a 5.5 hour drive or a plane flight to get over there. So if a few of our players didn't play on Saturday, it was really difficult to get them over there on the weekend to get some game time. Mike, who's the head coach over there, also has his own responsibilities as winning, and they're a separate club, right? So his is not so much developing our players. It was great that he left spaces open, and when we can fit them in, he gave them a chance to play. But he had his own guys signed, and his job was to win, and he had an owner to report to, and that had nothing to do with us. Saying that, they tried their best to get our guys in, and Lagos was out there. Romario obviously stayed the whole year there. Who else went out there a few times? Patrick, Laurent went out there at the end of the year. So we were able to get some guys games, but bringing it in-house, we control all the technical aspect of the club and on the field. So we'll be able to get 13 guys will get minutes probably every week to stay on track and develop to push for first team spots.
Some folks on Twitter, your supporters, are asking if the holdup on Garza and Assad are simply waiting until after the expansion. I was curious if you could just shed any details on what the timeline is or might be.
No, we don't really have a timeline with those guys. It's we're just in discussions. I don't have much to update your fans on Twitter.
Your fans.
Harrison, one more for that.
With scouting for the USL team, is it similar to the first team in the sense that you guys are willing to go internationally to scout for those guys, or as well, is it more nationally focused?
Yeah, so that's a good question. We can do both, right? But there is, you get 7 international spots as well with the USL team. So for us, it's a great opportunity to start to bring some players into our club that we potentially get at a younger age, and they're getting games with our USL team. But they're seen by our head coach here every day, right? And then we play on the weekend, so they get minutes. So that is also a great opportunity for us, and we'll probably look to explore that a little bit as well.
Time for one more. Anything? Doug?
What's the biggest lesson you learned this year that you're going to apply?
No, look, that's a good question, Doug. I'll go back to the beginning. I mean, a little bit from the opening statement. When we were able to build this club, and we had a vision, and we're looking to go forward. We wanted to be competitive year one, and from then on, be a part of the conversation every year. They're a championship team caliber every year. So that was our main goal. Looking out, we go out, we get early players like a Tito Villalba, right? The type of player, athletic, fast, durable, that can play the type of style of play that we had envisioned for the club. We were able to go out and get Tata, a manager who can implement that style of play, on the front foot, attacking, high press, high tempo. And then, we had this unbelievable fan base of, 11,000, 15,000, 18,000, up to, what do we have, 38,000 season ticket holders now. And the attendance, right? So it all just started to build and come together. And now next year we feel very poised, like I said, to strengthen a few spots here and there. We've got an unbelievable fan base behind us, unbelievable atmosphere. Every player that comes and plays and coaching staff talks about how amazing this atmosphere is and playing in Mercedes-Benz and even Bobby Dodd, to be fair, as well. So they really like the trip out here. You know, I know the league is very pleased with what's going on. So we would like to strengthen in a few spots, but you know, we want to challenge for championships now, and that's what we're here. We have fantastic infrastructure. We got, you know, Arthur's given us these awesome resources with the training facility like this, the stadium. You know, the guys and ourselves are provided with, you know, every chance to be successful. So now going forward, it's all about trying to go as far as we can and bring championships back to this city.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks, Carlos.